You're about to walk into something big. Maybe it's a job interview. Maybe it's a speech in front of 200 people. Maybe a final exam, a tough conversation with your boss, or the moment right before a big athletic competition. Suddenly, your heart is hammering, your hands are shaking, your brain is screaming at you. Run, hide, abort. That feeling? That is fear, and it is a feature, not a bug. Your brain is doing exactly what millions of years of evolution designed it to do: protect you from danger. The problem is, your brain cannot tell the difference between a hungry tiger and a Monday morning presentation. It fires the same alarm for both. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union spent decades figuring out how to turn that alarm off on command. This framework applied to soldiers, athletes, cosmonauts, and chess players, anyone who needed to perform under crushing pressure. They built an entire system for neutralizing fear before it could sabotage performance. The techniques are shockingly simple. They take under 2 minutes, and you can learn them right now and use them today. Before we get to the Soviet playbook, you need to understand what fear actually does inside your skull. It is pure chemistry. Look at this brain cross-section. Deep inside sits a tiny almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's smoke detector. When it senses danger, real or imagined, it pulls a fire alarm. Instantly, your body floods with adrenaline and cortisol. Your heart rate spikes. Blood rushes away from your brain and into your arms and legs because your body is getting ready to fight or run. Your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, the part that does logic and planning, basically goes offline. You are running on pure animal instinct. Neuroscientist Jill Bolte Taylor documented that the entire chemical cascade of a fear response lasts about 90 seconds. That is it. After 90 seconds, the adrenaline and cortisol start to fade, unless you keep feeding the fear with panicked thoughts. If you keep thinking, "I'm going to fail, this is a disaster, everyone is watching," your amygdala fires again and again and again. You get stuck in a loop. The Soviets actually figured this out decades before modern neuroscience confirmed it. Their whole system was built around one idea: if you can stay calm for 90 seconds, you can stay calm forever. The founding father of Soviet sports psychology was a man named Avksentij Puny. While the West treated the mental side of performance as an afterthought, Puny built a complete system for psychological preparation, first for athletes, and eventually adopted across the Soviet military and space program. Puny's ultimate goal was to get his people into a state he called boyovaya gotovnost, which translates to readiness to fight. This meant reaching an optimal mental state with maximum focus, controlled emotions, and zero wasted mental energy on fear or doubt. Puny demonstrated that fear isn't something you eliminate. It is raw biological fuel that must be deliberately regulated and channeled for the specific task at hand. Step 1 is the breath reset. This foundational technique, derived from Soviet Spetsnaz and Sistema, uses the conscious control of the breath as a manual override for the autonomic nervous system. You cannot will your heart rate down, but you can control your breath. When you do, everything else follows. The technique is simple. Watch this pacing circle. When fear hits, inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Fill your belly, not just your chest. The nasal passages naturally slow and filter the air, preventing you from hyperventilating. Then hold for a count of 2. Just a brief pause with no tension. The extended exhale through the mouth for 6 to 8 seconds provides the physiological shift. This specific duration activates your vagus nerve, which switches your nervous system from fight or flight mode to rest and digest mode. Make sure you push all the air out. Do not leave stale air sitting in your lungs. Step 4, hold empty for a count of 2. Then repeat. 3 to 5 cycles of this, taking about 60 to 90 seconds total. This structured math is enough to measurably drop your heart rate, lower cortisol, and bring your thinking brain back online. It acts as a biological brake pedal to force logic back into the equation. Step 2 is the body scan. Sistema's principle of non-tension goes beyond breathing. Fear stores itself as hidden physical tension in clenched jaws and tight shoulders. This tension sends signals back to your brain saying we are still in danger, which keeps the fear loop running. Look at this thermal sweep. Soviet operators were trained to do a rapid body scan immediately after starting to breath reset. As you inhale, mentally send your awareness from the top of your head slowly down through your body: forehead, jaw, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, chest, stomach, legs, feet. On the long exhale, consciously let go of that tension, imagining the breath washing it out. This 30-second scan breaks the feedback loop between body and brain. Relaxing the physical body signals to the brain that the environment is safe and the alarm can be cut off. Step 3 is mental rehearsal. Here, the Soviet system shifts from defensive calming to actively weaponizing the mind for performance. Vividly imagining a successful performance builds actual neural pathways. Brain scans confirm that when you vividly imagine performing an action, your nervous system literally cannot tell the difference between a vivid mental rehearsal and the real thing. Run the movie of everything going perfectly. Close your eyes and see yourself walking in calmly. See yourself performing well. Feel it in your body. Hear the sounds. Make it vivid and make it strictly first person, through your own eyes. Visualizing success prevents the brain from generating disaster scenarios. This practice preloads your brain with a success script. By removing the fear of the unknown, the brain follows the path it has already mentally experienced. Step 4 is the arousal dial. Total calm is rarely the goal. A surgeon needs a 4, a linebacker needs an 8, a sprinter needs a 9. This is Poonami's concept of optimal emotional arousal, the ability to manually dial your energy to match the specific requirement of the task. Fear usually cranks you to a 10. The reset brings you back down, but you can choose where to stop. Ask yourself what energy level the task needs and adjust your breathing intensity to hit it. If you need to be calm for a presentation, stay in the 3 to 4 range. If you need explosive energy for a physical challenge, shorten your breath cycles to rise to a 7 or 8. Manually selecting the arousal number places the logical brain firmly in control, rather than letting fear dictate your energy level. This Soviet-inspired fear reset combines all 4 techniques into a single, invisible 2-minute countdown you can execute before any high-stakes event. Watch the timeline. Seconds 0 to 60. Breath reset drops your heart rate and the body scan releases physical tension. Seconds 90 to 11. Mental rehearsal preloads your success script. Seconds 110 to 120. The arousal dial calibrates energy. Open your eyes, go. This works through direct biological triggers: vagus nerve activation, feedback loop interruption, and prefrontal cortex engagement. This protocol requires 0 equipment and takes under 2 minutes. Because it is completely invisible, it remains a supreme operational advantage in any environment. The Soviet system operated on a specific understanding. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the trained ability to function optimally while it happens. Every Soviet athlete and cosmonaut felt fear. The first 90 seconds are critical. When your heart is pounding and your brain screams to run, step into the protocol instead of fighting panic. Breathe, scan, rehearse, dial. 2 minutes. Then go do the thing. You now possess the exact same psychological armor as elite operators, knowing what to do with fear.